Hey guys, it's Nicole again with my vintage home. I'm trying to pick like an angle right here where you can't see the mess that is my basement. Like, don't look down there. Welcome back to my channel. This video is actually the second part of a video that just was going on and on and on, so I decided to split it up into a second video. I'm going to show you some of the materials that I use kind of as an extracurricular in our homeschool, and also a rant basically about homeschooling, and hopefully just something that gives you some motivation to begin homeschooling if it's something that you're thinking about. So please stay tuned. I know I kind of go on forever, but I really do think that homeschooling is such a great thing for any family if you can make it work, and I just kind of go on and on about why in this video, so please stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Well, this movie is turning into a curriculum share, so I'm just going to keep rolling with it. I went to the Wild and Free conference last September in Franklin, Tennessee, which was really amazing. We have a local Wild and Free group that my good friend leads, and we do a hike every other week. And we went yesterday to a creek in St. Louis, and they just splashed around for a few hours, and it was really fun. But at the convention last September, I picked up this book from Beautiful Feet, Teaching Character Through Literature. I don't know if it's backwards for you. I think it is. And I want to share this really quick because I love it. It's first of all, it just has a lot of really good book recommendations, and it's not a curriculum. This is just kind of like an addition to whatever you're already doing. And so for primary students, it only has 13 lessons, and you kind of just do them how you want, but it's just very simply laid out. I don't know if you can see that. Notes. So like lesson 1, it gives you a verse to read, it gives you a picture book to read with it, and then just a couple like talking points, and that's it. That's the entire lesson, but it's just to kind of enhance a character trait in your children, using both the Bible and a picture book. And I really like it. I just think it's a really cute book, and it has sections for you to go all the way up through intermediate grades, so you can use this through high school, or at least middle school. I think through high school, yeah, because it gets into like more advanced books to enhance those certain characters. So I really like that. For Phonics, we're using Explode the Code very loosely and very relaxed, because he's gotten frustrated with these books, which tells me that he's not quite ready for them. But he is reading pretty fluently, like the level 1 or with the easiest readers. So I feel like they've taught him well, but I have to be careful not to try to like stick on a schedule with these and rush him through things. So I really need to just give him his time to understand it. Whereas with math, he flies through. We're using, this is Masterbooks Math, Lessons for a Living Education. I don't love this book. I think with my son, I have a hard time keeping his attention. And so for me to try to do math and incorporate story into it, which is what like Charlotte Mason would want you to do, because you know she's trying to do this like teaching math through living literature. But for my kid, like he just wants to learn the math and then move on. And he learns math really easy. He's really good with numbers. He learned tally marks in like one lesson basically. I mean, he just picks up these things really quickly. So now that I know that about him, I won't do something with quite so much fluff. I might do Math UC is kind of what I'm thinking, because he's pretty visual, but he also just wants to like get down to the point and not be like reading a story about it, which I get to. I mean, you know, I appreciate this book in that it has like a Christian aspect to it, and the stories are cute, but it's just not working for him. But we are still doing like the actual math in there, and he's been doing really well with that. And so to kind of enhance that, we're picking some Kumon books, just mostly for him to just have to do. But this is a book of mazes. This book of telling time is really cut and dry, whereas the time telling in the Masterbooks is a little, yeah? The telling time book is pretty straightforward, which is what we like about it. I don't know what you need to see about that. It's just a bunch of clocks and they fill in the spaces, but I think they like it a lot. I also have this learning clock from Melissa and Doug, which he kind of likes, and I think it helps a little bit. I don't love that it doesn't do all the numbers. See how it only goes by 5s? So that was something I didn't realize about it until I bought it, but I think it's okay. And the other Kumon books he does, and I say he does, I mean these are very random. Like we are not on a schedule with these. But we really like this geometry and measurements one. It's a little bit more advanced for him. I mean, it does say grade 1. But he really likes it. But this can be pretty complicated, especially by the end. So I wouldn't recommend this for all kindergartners. But I like that it starts to use like measurements and give them like geometry ideas, and it helps with counting money. So I don't know. We might do this one pretty slowly is kind of what I'm thinking. I'll tell you all of them. And this is just like a connect the dot book, 1 through 70. Connect the dot and color by numbers. So just to help them get like familiar with reading bigger numbers, which the beginning of this year, I don't think he could count to 100, but once he could count to 100, like a lot of doors open for him. Now he's counting by 2s, 5s, 10s. He loves the challenge of like learning how to count by other sets of numbers. So we're gonna do evens and odds next and kind of talk about that. So, I mean, I think that's one thing I find interesting in our homeschool so far is that a lot of learning just kind of comes through conversation. Even like learning how to count money, that's just because like I was sitting down with my own grocery budget one day and he wanted to like learn about what I was doing. And so I kind of had a chance to tell him then, like, you know, if you only have $5 for groceries, like you have to plan accordingly what you can spend. Here's how much a dollar's worth. Here's how much a quarter's worth, and just so on and so on. And so like a lot of times like these math books, like I don't pick out of our shelf because like we're learning so much just kind of doing life together, and they get to really see just like how a household is run. And I think that's pretty amazing for 2 little boys. I don't know like what that will mean when they grow up, what that will mean to their education. And obviously we can't just do that for the rest of their life. They can't just like hang around with their stay-at-home mom forever. But I do think for like their little years, it's actually just really a lot for them to learn, just like being around me, and also just doing a lot of books and a lot of nature walks. I feel like if you just do that, I feel like you're doing a good job, especially up until 6 years old, even 7 years old. And no matter what you're doing, I bet you're doing a good job. I think you're probably doing what you think is best for your kids, even if you feel like you're struggling. So, you know, just stick with it. You know, I'm proud of you for even trying homeschooling. If you're still thinking about homeschooling, I would just say, like, just go for it. Just go for it. There's nothing in your life that's going to make you know, like, for sure that you should do it. If it's something that, it's just something in your gut. And you might as well try it now because your kids are only getting older. I just feel like their childhood is so short, and I don't want to talk about it because it's too hard to talk about, but it is. The years are really, really short. And, you know, I just think it's so important that those years be spent more with their parents than with their teachers in their class. If you're worried about socialization, I'm sure there's co-ops in your area, there's play groups. There's so much for your kids to be doing. And my kids are able to talk to any age of kids just because of the nature of homeschooling. They're with a lot of different ages all the time. They're so good talking with grown-ups, with adults, I should say. So I don't know, just don't fall into those stereotypical fears about homeschooling. It's going to look different for every single house. And if you want to do it, I would say just go for it and just try it. There's not a perfect curriculum for you. It's just not. There's many, many good options. So there's many, many good options. So you just have to choose one basically and try it out. You can always, Rowan, I am recording, buddy. You're being rude. I will bring your lunch soon. There's just so many options out there. None of them are bad. They're just gonna be what works best for your kid, and you're not gonna really know that until you've started homeschooling him and seeing his or her learning style. So really, I can say if you're just starting out, just go with the flow. Just be really relaxed. It's gonna be hard if they've been in school and now you're gonna homeschool. It's gonna be hard for you to not want to try to replicate that school environment for you or for them. But just know that like homeschool, it's not going to look like public school, and it doesn't require a classroom. And even if you just need to kind of take some time to just come away from school, come away from homework, and just, you know, just have some fun together, just read a lot of books together. I am talking about like unschooling, but not long-term necessarily, but just to like get out of that, the schedule and the mentality of public school, because it's not necessary to learn. It's not necessary for a kid to sit in their seat for 8 hours a day to learn everything they need to know. So there's a lot to break from there. And I know I'm going on a rant right now. I'm ranting. I'm sorry. I need to end this video, but you know, I'm here for you. If you want to homeschool and you have any questions, I'm obviously brand new. I am not a wealth of information, but I do feel really strongly about homeschooling. And I feel like no doubt in my mind that that's what I should be doing for my kids. And so if you would just like to partake in that confidence about homeschooling, I am happy to help you out with that. I really, really thank you guys for watching today. This channel is new for me, and I don't know what it's going to turn into, but for now it's just kind of a fun way for me to have a creative outlet and to share some things that I really like just in my life and what's going on. And I think that it'll be fun, and it'll be fun to kind of grow in this together. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I plan to make a lot more homeschooling videos like this. So I hope you enjoy. Have a great day, guys. Bye.